At the University of Iowa, number 14, Ed Podolak, was a quarterback for 2 seasons. Lions quarterback Greg Landry had a rough start to this game, but the following 3 plays show why tight end Charlie Sanders is a Hall of Famer. This is a lot of wet, sloppy snow on the field of Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota. And this looks like a heck of a lot of fun. This was a rough day for quarterbacks as both teams combined to throw 5 interceptions and only 135 yards. The Falcons could only generate 5 first downs. Clint Jones tied the Vikings club record with 155 rushing yards, 73 of them coming on this play, the longest of the NFL season so far. Bill Boom Boom Brown didn't need to blast through the line like normal on these touchdowns. I wonder what the ticket price was to stand on the field leaning up against a makeshift fence. I think I'd pay it. Ah yes, back to the brats, this time in Milwaukee. And with big, thick, juicy steaks, too. Make sure you don't get any of the cigarette ashes in there, fella. Bart Starr was making his first start in nearly 1 year since shoulder surgery. Scott Hunter replaced an ineffective Bart Starr. Doug Wyatt ran 55 yards for a touchdown on this interception. And Zeke Gronkowski replaced an ineffective Scott Hunter. And that's Rich McGeorge taking it the distance. Here's the old master, 38-year-old John Unitas handing off to Tom Matte. Jack Tatum, that's a rarity. A missed tackle. Here's what John Madden is saying. I'm telling you, one more Mad Bomber interception and I'm pulling you. Well, that was his fourth interception, and in comes George Blanda, the ageless wonder. Look at how chewed up the turf is at Buffalo's War Memorial Stadium. Just pitiful. J.D. Hill had good reason to be ecstatic because he was sidelined all year with a knee injury after being the Bills' first-round draft pick in 1971. Bills were 0-10 going into this last game and had also lost the last 5 games of the 1970 season. Here's Robert James returning an interception. Juice could only muster 61 rushing yards and this 7-yard TD scamper. Running back Woody Campbell hooked up with Charlie Joyner on a touchdown. Dan Pastorini did too on this 55-yard strike. Leroy Kelly ran for 107 yards, the 25th time he ran for 100 plus, and became the 6th leading ground gainer in NFL history during this game. Al Beauchamp picked John Hadel's pocket and ran it in for a touchdown. Redskins punter Mike Bragg booted to the Eagles' Billy Wallach, who promptly returned the ball 50 yards. For 2 touchdowns. Sonny Jurgensen missed the first 8 weeks of the season with an injured shoulder, and Tim Rotzovich's hard hit re-injured it and knocked him out of the game. In fact, he wouldn't return for the rest of the season. Number 41, Mike Bass returned this interception 38 yards for a touchdown. In Super Bowl VII, he returned a fumble 49 yards for a touchdown. Willie Kilmer came off the bench to rally the Redskins to a victory over the Eagles. Terry Bradshaw was benched at halftime after only completing 5 of 15 passes. Terry Hanratty replaced him, but only completed 3 of 12 passes for 32 yards and an interception. So Bradshaw went again and replaced him. This was commonplace back then. Number 44, Floyd Little ran for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns. Larry Stallings played 14 years in the NFL, and you're looking at his only interception return for a touchdown. Jim Hart got hot. Quarterback Bob Davis injured his ankle on this play and was forced to leave the game. And in came Joe Willie Namath for the first time in a regular season game since October 1970. In less than 3 quarters, he threw 258 yards and 3 touchdowns, 57, 20, and 22 yards, along with 2 costly interceptions. Number 44, Bruce Taylor, did not score on this play, but he was named to the Pro Bowl game in 1971, his only one. Now that looks exceedingly painful. Number 40, Ken Willard, had 6,105 rushing yards. At the time of his retirement, he was 8th all-time in rushing yards. Talk about being underrated. I mean, hardly anybody knows about this guy today. Number 12, John Brody. He belongs in the Hall of Fame. I'll just leave it at that. Joe was a little rusty after a 13-month layoff, but he performed admirably. Please click the like button, because if you've made it this far, I know you've liked the video. As always, thank you for watching.